Alright, welcome to the FinalEdit. Today we're going to be covering a very simple tutorial on Adobe After Effects. And what is it going to be? The evil eye. Okay, the first thing you're going to want to do is open up your Adobe After Effects. And there we go. There we go. Get it out of the way of my screen region here. Alright, you have Adobe After Effects. Now, just so you know, if you've been messing around with your Adobe After Effects, it may not look like mine. So what you might want to do is you might want to go up to the window and go to Workspace and reset to Standard. Hit yes, and then your Adobe After Effects will look just like mine. A lot of people don't know that, and they'll like move this, they'll exit this, and they'll like exit this, and then they'll be like, how do I get that stuff back? It's gone. I don't know what to do. Well, it's pretty simple. Just go to Window, Workspace, and reset to Standard, and you're back up and running the way you're supposed to be. First thing we're going to do is drag our clip, so you know, right into the project area. That makes our composition the size of our movie. One thing I also want to say is, yeah, that's about all I wanted to say. So, moving right along. Next thing you're going to want to do for this is drag this movie down under here. And then you're going to see, oh, look at that handsome guy. There's two of them in this shot. One in the corner and one on the screen. Alright, so right now it's on a third. Okay, you can turn up the look of it by hitting full, and then you'd see it's a higher resolution. Now if you run it in a higher resolution like this, all it's going to do is slow down your computer. Sometimes you need it to see small details though. But for right now, for this simple thing, we're just going to run it in a third. Boop, boop, boop. So it doesn't look as clear, but we'll know what we're doing. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play, or move, I'm going to move this ruler thingamajigger thing here right to here. Alright, because that's where I'm going to start the special effect. Right in here. And I want to know that before I add the effects. So, I'm going to come up here where my mouse is, and I'm going to hit the layer, not the effect, the layer. Add new layer, new, and then go to solid. Click on that. And this here really doesn't matter. Say in 640 by whatever, blah blah blah. And I guess I recorded in 640. What's up with that? Oh, I don't know. Alright. So you guys are getting ripped off again, I see. So I'm gonna cut. Alright, so you can't see through this. It's a blue solid layer. It's covering up my video. Right over here, and you're like, oh no, I can't see. So I'm going to come over to here, and I'm not worried about you not seeing. I'm clicking on this solid bar here, the red one, and I'm going to hit Control D, and it makes another one. So now it's like, oh no, I can't see twice as much. But what I'm going to do is hit Alt, and then the left and left end bracket, and it's going to shorten that solid up, and then I'm going to do the same thing here, left end bracket and Alt key, and what that does is it basically shows us when the effect is going to start, because if you pull back your oh wait, I'm not, if that happens to, if you're looking at it and you see that you can't see anything, look up here, you might not be in your composition area. There we go. So now you can see where these two solids start by pulling the key over. See that? This is where our effect is going to start. Ish. So, first thing you're going to do, and I'm going to do this without any plugins because I know not everybody has plugins, although it can be done really cool with plugins. We're going to go without a plugin, just After Effects. Alright, so you're going to come into your effects and presets right here and type in flare. Yeah, and you're going to take the lens flare. You're going to take the lens flare by dragging it and putting it right on this bar here. And then you're going to do it again. You're going to grab that lens flare and drag it right onto this bar right here and let it go. Alright. Now, you notice you see lens flares, but you don't see the picture underneath. Oh no. What am I going to do? Well, the way these lens flares work is you have to come over here, see where my mouse is, check my mouse, and click this and this. Each solid is not see-through until you say, hey, make it see-through, and that's why it's a half circle. So then you can see your picture, and you can see, ooh, my lens flares. What you might want to do too, right here, is make these actually bigger for what we're doing. Oh, click back on there. Just click on these and drag them out bigger. And then see, this one's the one selected. Hit the next one. And oh, this is not going to work for me. My mouse is spasming out, and drag this one out bigger. And there's a reason for that. The lens flare, you want it for this effect to be longer and wider than your actual picture. Otherwise, you might get like a seam where the flare ends if you, yeah, just trust me, you want it bigger for this. Alright, so next we're going to go into, see, you know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to make this easy. Oh. I'm going to actually duplicate this again. Control D, because I accidentally deleted it. And I'm going to make sure that the effects on it, yes it is. Alright, so I'm going to open this up. And, oh, that's what I wanted to do. I'm going to right click on this and hit rename and call this I1. And then I'm going to right click on this one and hit rename and call this I2. Just so you know what it is. Now our movie, I'm going to rename this to Handsome Guy, because that's what he is. Alright. Now, what we're going to do next, you see, it's my tutorial. I can do this. It's my world, baby. All right, open up the effects. Now, you've got both of those open. Open up the effects on one of them. Open up the lens flare, because that's the effect we're using. And you just do that by clicking on it, and then the arrow will go down. Okay, and then what we're going to do is do the same thing over here. Okay, and we're going to switch these lens types right now from a 50 to a 35 prime, and we're going to move down to the next one and switch it to a 35. Okay, so now we have a different type of lens because we're going for a certain effect. Evil eye, the evil eye. All right, next we're going to take this down to 30%, and this is the brightness of the lens, and we're going to take this one down, and it says flare brightness, take it down to 30%. Alright, so they're a lot less bright. Now what I'm going to do also is I'm going to come up to the top flare where it says center, and I touch it, and see this shows up. This is like where the beam originates to, or the center point of it. And well, this is the actual where the beam originates in the center, but they don't call it that way, just so you know. All right, so I put those both over one eye. Then I go to the other and I click that, and then I can see this over here. And now you'll see why I wanted it greater than the picture. And this over here. Like so. All right. You know what? Looking at that, I'm thinking we could go with a little less than 30. Let's go with 25 on the brightness. 25 and 25. Now the reason I'm going with 25 is because let's see what it'll look like on a full resolution. Oh yeah, see now that I'm on full resolution, I can see that it's not quite over my eye too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this again and move this better over the eye. That's why it's good to check and do the same thing here by clicking on the center and just move it just ever so, like that. And yeah, that's a pretty cool effect. I could move the one up more, and I'm going to do it. I know I don't have to go into super detail, but I want to go into detail for everybody so you understand what's going on. So I'm going to tap the lens flare again right here, and I'm just going to move this up ever so, and then see it just covers the eye just that little bit better. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're actually going to hit the little stopwatch for the flare center. Hit the stopwatch, hit the stopwatch on both of them. So they're both on stopwatches. And now what that means is it's going to track the movement of these flares as we move through time, which is important. If that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, just keep watching these videos over and over again. I love it. Alright, so what I do is I always, step forward by using next frame. And I'll step forward 3 or 4, and then I'll see it'll start to move, right? So I'll go and click on the lens flare that's moving and move it with my eye, so it covers the eye good. And see, then it puts keyframes in here when you move them. Now do it again. See how it's starting to move? I can move this one up. So I hit the center here. Move this one up right there. Now I'm going to move this one up. I just tap flare center and move that up. There we go. Eyeball it. And you can get more particular and add a keyframe every frame, but you don't need to. But if you want to do really good work, you'd probably do a lot more than what I'm doing right here for this. But I'm not moving around much, so it should give a pretty cool effect. Now here I'm going to move them just a little bit more, so I'm going to tap on the flare center again. And tap on the flare center. Then I'm going to see, I'm looking at it, seeing, yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, here it's starting to move, so I'm going to back it up. And I'm going to tap on this, move this way. And I'm always just stepping one frame forward and then checking. Then I'm going to do the same thing here. Move this just ever so. And then do it again. There we go. I should have done this in higher resolution. It's kicking my butt. All right, so then when you have, you know, it following you and looking decent, and what we'll do is we'll just see the effect. All right. I'm going to end the effect right here by hitting Alt, right end bracket, and I'm going to do the same thing with the one above it by clicking it and hitting Alt, right end bracket. Then I'm going to go back. Oh, let's go make sure we're viewing the composition here, and I'm going to see certain spots where it's not quite lined up. See right here, I can move this up and to the left a little. So what I'm going to do is just click on the flare center and right there. And click on the flare center right there. This one here, down here, flare center. There we go. Do it again over here, flare center. Ah, yeah. All right, so, and you should get basically this effect. That's pretty cool and pretty simple. After Effects effect. Alright, now what you're going to want to do is make a movie. And what we're going to do is I'm going to stop expanding my windows. I'm going to go over here to Composition, Add to Render Queue. Then I'm going to move to the Render Queue, and this is called Mad Eye. Well, first, do not save in lossless unless you're making professional movies for, I don't know, just trust me, you won't want to upload it to YouTube. H.264 is, it makes really good, it's nice compression. So, and we're going to want audio with it. So I'm going to click the audio, yes. Make sure you click your audio, yes, if you want to do the audio inside of After Effects. I'm going to change the name to Mad Eye 1 and save, and then come over here and hit render, and you are done. Alright guys, that's really all there is to it for this how-to.